The private rented sector has been through a lot of changes in recent years, and landlords have been bombarded with lots of new rules and regulations. While some feel they're being squeezed out, others are seeing opportunity and adapting their businesses accordingly. Business is the key word because the landlords emerging into the new market are becoming larger, younger and more professional. Government is relying on them to plug the gaps in the housing market, and tenants are demanding better quality and better service. Well, like any business, this new breed of landlord needs the right partners and suppliers to be successful, from mortgage advisors to letting agents, tax experts to handymen. However, insurance is often at the very bottom of that list of essentials, and it could be the very thing that protects landlords when diversifying their strategies and investing for the future. We went to meet Simple Landlords Insurance to find out how they are supporting modern landlords to run modern businesses. So Abby, tell me, how was Simple Landlords founded? Where was the seed of the idea?
Well, Simple Landlords Insurance was established about 10 years ago, and it was one of the first brands to take specialist landlords insurance online and out to a mass market.
What do you understand about your customers that other people don't?
We know that landlords are busy, and what we are trying to do is to actually do what we say on the tin and to keep things simple. And what we've done, therefore, is to strip out all of the jargon, all of the sleight of hand stuff, and to make things really clear and really transparent. And by telling people exactly what they're covered for and exactly what they're not covered for, we think that we can help them get the right policy and bolt on the right bits for their particular tenants, their particular properties, and their particular levels of risk.
You published the Landlords Report earlier this year. What did that tell you?
Small businesses are under a lot of pressure at the moment, and landlords are under more pressure than most. What we found in the research was an increasing polarisation between the small single property landlords at one end of the market and the larger multi-property landlords at the other end, or those aiming to get there. The landlords we're seeing coming through are often younger. 1 in 4 are under 35, so they're whippersnappers. They're much better informed, much better educated, and they're starting to invest differently. So the areas of growth that we found in the report were things like blocks of flats, HMOs, which is houses of multiple occupation, and holiday lets. And instead of having all their eggs in sort of one basket, your 2 up, 2 down, professional working tenants, people are beginning to diversify, and the businesses looking to grow can be looking at those big boys and looking at what they're doing and how they're doing it and emulating that.
Carl, as a landlord, investor and property developer, you've accessed all levels of insurance, haven't you, throughout your career? Why is it so important to have insurance?
I think when I first started out as a landlord, I was probably a little bit passive with insurance. It was all about the cost of insurance. But I think as you grow your portfolio and you start to see yourself operating a business, you realise the importance of underwriting risk. And also you realise the importance of being prepared for what could be a rather expensive experience and the impact that could have on your business.
Carl, when you have a property portfolio, whether it's just a very small one or rather a large one, the stakes can be very high, can't they? Can you give us an example of what making a claim feels like when you have got a big disaster on your hands?
You know, at the time that something happens, it's panic station. There's lots of people that need you to act very quickly. You may need to reaccommodate them, you may need to safeguard the building, and also you've got a financial worry in terms of the amount of damage and how you're going to pay for it. I think my most recent example was a malicious damage claim that I carried out on just a straightforward terraced house property that had been left empty for only around 2 weeks. Unfortunately, somebody had broken into the property and basically vandalised it. We experienced metal theft where boilers had been taken out and pipe work. Consequently, we'd got electrical issues, flooding, and the insurance company at the time dealt with all that for us.
And Carl, the stakes can be very high when things go wrong, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last claim I was involved in had a repair cost of about £18,000. That's quite a worry for a lot of landlords, especially small landlords. And if they don't have the right insurance in place, then they would have to find those funds themselves.
And as a customer, I mean, you think about insurance and it's synonymous with great frustration. What you seem to try and do differently is actually have that open dialogue throughout a policy rather than just at the point of renewal.
We try to support our customers throughout the lifetime of their relationship with us. We talk to them about legislation and regulation, and we work with subject matter experts such as Carl to do blogs and videos and really interesting stuff about what's going on in the market, but also how it can help them be better at business and better at being a property investor.
As a consumer, you've been in the insurance market, as it were, for many years. What does the future look like to you?
I think the future is a more professionalised sector. I think in say 10 years' time, we'll be looking at a market where landlords are heavily regulated, whether that's the form in a licence or a nationwide register. I think interestingly the tenant requirements has changed. We've changed the way we access property. I think the younger generations coming through are actually choosing to rent. So it's a choice rather than a financial requirement.
And at Simple Landlords Insurance, Jenny, how do you view the future?
I would agree completely with Carl, and I think you know, these landlords, property investors are seeing themselves as business, and I think they need to look at insurance in a business light as well. Make sure that they aren't buying on price, just on price at least. You know, 86% of people still do that. Make sure that they've got the right insurance policy. 1 in 4 don't have the right insurance policy. So just make sure that they take time, do their research, do their due diligence, buy the right policy for them. You know, what worries me as an insurer, and of course it would, but people spend more time researching what restaurant they're going to go to than they do in terms of their insurer. So do that upfront research because it will absolutely pay back at the point of claim.